Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Prime Time. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you, it's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?
Good morning, Nigeria. It's another beautiful Thursday morning here, and you're tuned into Ways Breakfast. Hashtag What Are You Saying? I'm your host, Oluchi Omink, and I'm here, of course, with the incredible ladies. So this morning, we are off to kick your day with the right energy and excitement. So whether you're on your way to work, you're getting the kids ready for school, which is quite late, or simply enjoying a quiet moment with your tea or coffee, we're glad to have you here with us. All right, ladies, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
What's the word? I want to change the word from I'm good, I'm okay. I'm looking for another grammar to use. Ecstatic. I'm excited.
Excited.
I'm fabulous. I'm blessed. Like God used to use the other day. I'm perfect. And what did you even say that day?
Beautiful, excellent.
There are different words to use to classify how you're feeling now, but I'm feeling very, very great. How about you?
I'm sharp.
Your
Sharp-minded.
favorite word. You're sharp.
Sharp-minded, yeah.
So how's your Thursday morning coming along? I know it's pretty early, so
Deep psych.
what are the
I
plans
woke
you
up
have
a
for
bit
today apart
late.
from the show and everything?
Oh, I had a lot of plan this morning, but I think it has been changed due to, But then just work, stay sharp, eat food, eat well, mind my business, and then play music and enjoy.
Well, just for laughs, I saw something on is it Instagram now? So it was like a meme that somebody posted and said, "How can you be asking me how my day is going by 8 a.m.?" And it felt so funny because literally some people haven't even started their day by 8 a.m. They're probably still sleeping, especially if they do like overnight work and something. And asking me how is my day going, I'm wondering if I should even stand up from this bed.
It's going to be like, how's your morning coming on?
Should have made sense, yeah.
How about you guys, Beauty? What's your plan for today?
Just like she said, I think it's just work. I don't know really, but I just know for sure that it's more work, right? I intend to rest actually, even though I know
Just
that
squeeze it in.
yeah, even though I know that it's not like 100% possible, but at the same time, it's just work, eat, and that's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
For me, I think work as well because I have some things to finish up. I'm just waiting for the day where our days can be more flexible. Why should it always be work, work, work? We should work though, but I'm not getting anything exciting. Nobody's going out.
On a Thursday. Okay, I remember I used to really go out. I used to be a weekday person. I mean, the best time I like to hang out is weekdays because of the crowd. No much crowd, silent. Even when you're paying for a normal ticket, the ticket is feeling like you paid for a VIP class because there's no much people there. But I think the era I am right now is the era where, okay, I have to work round the clock. And the little time I have to rest, the little time I have off work, I have to still work from my house to attend to one or two calls. Okay, start thinking of next week. Oh, okay, start reaching out to one or two guests and all of that. So I'm unconsciously still working. And please, I don't want to go out. Let me just lock myself inside.
But you know that the essence of working hard now and trying to meet your goals, meet the dreams that you already set for yourself, so that you can buy yourself time in the future to be able to actually rest. So,
well, this tipping era makes it feel like you're working now, so you can eat. Your work might not be able to provide food for you tomorrow. So at least work now, eat now.
So I need the right kind of work, if that's the kind of work you're doing.
What's
What's
the
the exit plan for people who are probably facing that kind of situation?
I think I'll be resigning. I say resigning. I'll be retiring early.
You'll be retiring
I don't
early.
know, but
So
I
you
think
have planned for retirement.
Early. I mean, very early. With this way, very early.
All right, so today's conversation is quite serious. We're talking about the role of education in social mobility, and for people that have been to the higher institution, we have different educational background. So I feel like would really bring diverse perspective to this topic. Are you ready?
Maybe.
All right. So we'll take a short break, and when we return, look through the headlines across Nigerian newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome back, viewers. This is still Ways Breakfast. If you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please go straight to our official Upgrade TV, click the subscribe button, turn on your notification, and always be part of our conversation. So before we dive into the main discussion, let's catch up on the top headlines making waves around the world this Thursday morning. We've got the latest stories from The Punch, The Guardian newspaper, and of course the New York Times. I'll start with The Punch newspaper. The major headline reads, Tinubu demands 46 ministers' fresh scorecards as lobby begins. Cabinet rejig will be based on ministers' performance, says presidency. Political bigwigs, ministers intensified lobbying. And below that says Kekere Ekun warns judges against corruption after Senate confirmation. Bobrisky, minister orders alleged bribery probe. Falana plans suits. And Edo poll manned by vote buying delay, NBA observes. Above that, we see Dangote Refinery marketers plan direct petrol purchase, and the government mulls 30% TET fund allocation for student loan. Federal government proposes NIN tax for foreigners, and Yahaya Bello, EFCC files fresh 110 billion naira fraud charges. And that's all of the news we have for The Punch. A lot of the headline stories here catches my attention. I mean, there's the Kekere. I'll start with that one. You know, she was recently confirmed as the judge, and I think is she the first female to be judge in Nigeria? Maybe amongst, you know, I don't think there are usually a lot of women that are, chief justice. And then it's very good that we have another woman representing us if we did not have before. And she has, she's coming up with the whole anti-corruption thing. So we're expecting that her judiciary tenure would be very good.
Yeah,
and then she's not the first.
There's Justice Miriam Aloma.
Okay.
She was the first. Yes.
So she's the second, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Then the other one that catches my attention is the cabinet shake-up story. So Tinubu has demanded that 46 ministers' fresh scorecard will begin as the lobbying begins. Let me read the full details that I found on the Punch website. So he says, ahead of the planned cabinet shake-up by President Bola Tinubu, several ministers and their political godfathers have intensified lobbying to retain their position, which it's a typical thing. So some of the ministers will be calling their godfathers to influence the president, and it's a normal thing, but the president will still do what is on his mind, one of the correspondents said during their interview. So he also says that it's not unusual for politicians to lobby on their behalf, but Nigerians are not satisfied with the performances of many of these ministers, and the president will have no choice but to let them go. All right, what do you think about this story? I think it's a very good thing.
The Guardian is also talking about the same thing. Let me just link it up.
I was going to say something that before we start, to tackle bad governance doesn't just start from the top. It's not just, always antagonizing or saying it's the presidency, even though we know that you are supposed to, lead everybody under, that structure. But of course, we know that some ministers that we've had in recent times are not really fit for that position. And this whole idea of godfatherism makes it even more.
Worse.
I mean, it's so worse. It almost feels like people that get into those positions, some of them, let me not be so absolute, are just not deserving of it. It's just, I know somebody, just let's fix somebody. And the funny thing is that, they don't just stay there for a while or one tenure. They keep recycling. It's so funny. Let's see what the Guardian has to say.
All right, speaking on the same minister reshuffle, the Guardian newspaper talks about, Guardian newspaper titled this shake-up. 11 ministers, senior officials may go as Tinubu reshuffles cabinet. And then there are pictures of a couple of ministers where the first person is Bajabi Amila may be replaced. Fashola may emerge as the new chief of staff. Or Jeff, fate pending. They also have Uzoka Anto, fate pending. Then we also have Tijani, fate pending. I mean, the Minister of Digital Information that built a center in Kaduna or Kano that was destroyed during the hunger protest. And we also have Bagudu, fate pending. Then Edu, Bita Edu. The said ministry may be scrapped. Then there is Salako, may be removed. There's Oyedele, likely Minister of State for Finance. And the last person is Adelabu, may survive shake-up. I mean, I so much love this explanation. Okay. So it means that some of the ministers might be removed, some of their ministries might be scrapped completely, some might be getting
scrapped to be replaced.
Scrapped completely, like the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, the ministry rather.
There won't be nothing, there won't be anything like that again.
Yes, the last minister, which is Adiza Serik, yeah. She's a female light like this. She embezzled some funds as well. Then Bita Edu also embezzled some fund. So they are saying, okay, why do we not have the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs? We're supposed to think about humanity first, and not they embezzling all of the money. So they are thinking of scrapping exactly. So they're thinking of scrapping that ministry entirely. And there are some ministers that they'll either get a better position or they'll be removed completely due to maybe their incompetence or maybe negligence of duties, among others. So away from that, court restrains PDP governors, NWC board, others from dissolving pro-Wike ESCOs in Rivers State. Disclosed details of investigation, dismissed female soldier challenges army. I saw a video this morning on social media where the dismissed soldier was dancing. She said she was the first female soldier to be dismissed. I said, I'm trending, I don't know why. I was like, okay. She was dismissed due to allegation, sexual allegation. She actually lied on a fellow soldier that he was trying to assault her. And you know, this is not a small issue, not especially in the army. So he was punished before investigation was done and they found out that it was nothing but lies. So she was dismissed. But I think she's not taking it as we are taking it.
She wanted to be dismissed, so maybe she's probably very happy that...
Right, that's a very good view to look at it from. And of course, on the Bobrisky and Very Dark Man issue, federal government orders probe of Liberty scandal in NCOS and EFCC. And the bottom corner of the story says, after confirmation by Senate, CGN Kekereoku vows to sanitize judiciary. Let's hope she really sanitizes the judiciary.
We really do hope.
The final, the last but one headline reads, Bello claims vendetta as EFCC slams 110 billion naira in fresh fraud charges. How on earth did one person, an individual, a governor, former governor, have 110 billion naira fraud charges? Not million.
It did not start once. I mean, it's been accumulating. Those things can't be once. It's just that it's just once that we get to catch them or get to get the story. It's going to be years, and it's not just from one source. From different things together, which is just so appalling. It's just sad, honestly.
And the last story is, federal government denies interference in petrol pump price. Bro. So it means they really do not have a hand in whatever the petrol is saying. It's between Dangote Refinery and
Did you see the other Dangote story that says marketers plan direct petrol purchase? You know, before it's been NNPC direct purchase, but now these marketers are planning their direct purchase. So they are tilting towards God's beauty.
No, honestly, because that's what we need. See, the better everybody understands that, the better for us. Because you cannot be shouting and crying and be saying, oh, well, the fuel price is expensive, is this, and we are following monopoly routes. Where is that going to take us to? Like I said, I've explained this thing 1,000 times. Dangote is there to make money. The NNPC are there to make revenue and tax for the government, right?
So
of course,
private marketers as well.
exactly. So you don't expect at the end of the day, final consumer will not start getting fuel for 500 naira. It's just not going to happen if we follow this monopoly route. So we have this individual market go get their fuel from Dangote themselves. I'm not saying NNPC cannot get, but it has gotten to a point where we need other refineries as well. The one in Port Harcourt, what's happening to that?
Ask your government. Let's see what the New York Times has.
The one
for
final
us.
story I'd like to touch on, although it's not on the Guardian newspaper, is the fact that they've increased NYSC salaries, allowances rather, from 33,000 naira to the new minimum.
I think this is
70.
the best
Yeah.
news. Please, a round of applause. I have been waiting for
Wahala.
this news.
Oh, now
my.
I can relate.
Don't mind that.
If you get it, you get it.
If you know, you know, actually.
All right, let's move
All right,
on.
let's quickly go back to the international space, the New York Times newspaper. Right out of the newspaper, we have Biden at United Nations warn of peril to democracy. Crisis threatening efforts to preserve alliance. Next to that, Israel continues Lebanon strikes, deepening crisis. Left side of the newspaper, we have school chief to step down amid inquiries. Next to that, refugees for women that can feel like a prison. Bottom of the newspaper, reversal in Gen Z. Christian men are more pious than women. This is quite... I really don't know what to say to that, because I mean, when you say Christian men are more pious than women, what that particular place is just saying is that the men are more religious than the women in that particular place, and to me it is
It just has to be that place, because in Africa, I think it's
the women more than the
yeah.
men, but I mean. Next to that, which is the last headline on the newspaper we have, is the secret to a longer life hidden in a transplant drug. So the headline I want to quickly touch on is the one that has the refugees for women that can feel like a prison. So in Florida, many pregnant women and teens facing homelessness or abuse are turning to charity-run maternity homes for shelter, especially since housing costs are rising and abortion laws have tightened. These homes, usually connected to churches or Christian organizations, offer support but also impose strict rules, like requiring permission to leave, tracking phone movement, and even controlling how food assistance is used. Some women who stayed in these homes felt these rules are over-controlling, with serious consequences for breaking them, such as being expelled or having the police called on them. The lack of state oversight means these homes operate with little regulation, which has raised concerns about how they treat residents. I feel like this is just a normal stuff, in the sense that once a particular person is helping other people, they kind of have this, this shoulder. Because, I mean, you already know that these women don't like... These are pregnant women. These are things that are homeless, right? They don't have anywhere to go. It's not like they can go and meet the government themselves and say, this is the situation I'm facing, right? So you that is deciding to help them, okay, we have houses. I mean, through, this Christian homes that say, okay, you can come and stay here. So let's pray together. Let's do this together. Do you get what I'm saying? So you allow those people come to your house, and at the same time, you're not even taking proper care of them. You are not giving them, rules that, to me, are a bit, I feel like they're a bit harsh. I mean, it is one thing for me to come and stay in your house. It's another thing to not be checking my movements. I cannot go anywhere until I tell you, I take permission from you. Yeah. You have to track my phone to know where I'm going to, where I'm coming from, and all of that. I feel like that's a bit harsh. But at the same time, these women too, it's important that, I mean, you know that you don't have enough money. You don't have enough to take care of yourself. Why are you going to get pregnant? And you're complaining that, because, Florida, they have this abortion, the abortion law is a bit tightened there. They don't allow abortion and all of these things. So you end up, getting pregnant and all of that. That's why it's important that you, as an individual, you don't have enough. Stay where you are. Why are you getting pregnant unnecessarily when you know that, okay, you cannot take care of yourself? At the end of the day, you have to go to these Christian homes for them to take care of you. And you are still the one complaining that their rules are harsh.
Speaking of Christians homes, it made me remember NCCF days. Like, you're a corper, you're a core member. So after camp, you now want to stay in NCCF, which are like the National Christian Fellowship years.
Yeah.
They have rules. There are some clothes you can't wear there.
It's quite harsh.
I know of a friend that stayed there during NYSC service. She cannot wear short dress. She cannot wear trousers, although it's church sponsored. So the rule of that particular church
is what you have
to follow.
Yeah.
It's what you govern you. I mean, each time she's coming out, she has to wear like a long skirt and then hold an extra dress and change it. And I was like, okay, you are 7, you are a grown-up adult. You should not be
But
running.
again, she doesn't have choice.
But then she doesn't have a
I know of
choice.
someone that stays in a church premises due to like the kind of they had issues with getting a house and all of that, right? And in that church, they don't allow trousers. And she's a trouser person. So because of she's staying there, she don't have a choice than to start putting skirts, putting on long gowns and all of those things.
But
But
again, Rome, she behave like a Roman.
I did tell you. So I don't know. To the women out there, I think they should just have to, you know, cope, or probably if it's something that they can speak to these organizers, speak to the Christian home, the whoever that is in charge, speak to them about
go to I am a
it.
chosen church
And come and be-
speak to them that you want to wear trousers or fixed nails. It can't
Well,
work.
so you just have to, you know, blend in. That's all I can say. And that's all I have for you in the New York Times.
All right, this is where we wrap up the headline stories, take a short break, and then dive straight into the hot topic for today. So please be on standby. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome back to Raise Breakfast. This morning, we're talking about something that we can all relate to, the role of education in social mobility. So education is often hailed as a great equalizer, a powerful tool that can break the chains of poverty and open doors to new opportunities. Across the globe, access to quality education has been linked to upward social mobility, enabling individuals to improve their economic standing and change the course of their lives. However, the reality isn't always simple. In many places, unequal access, economic barriers, and systemic inequalities prevent education from fulfilling its full potential. So as we explore the role of education in social mobility, we must ask, is education truly the ladder to success for everyone, or are there hurdles that still hold many back? So we'll be unpacking these questions right here. Let's jump in, ladies. We have the table to ourselves. I mean, Tuesday and Thursdays are usually for us. We have to explore our own different perspectives and our views concerning things that concern us. Like, that's usually our slogan, what concerns us, right? So today we're talking about the role of education in social mobility. Firstly, we know social mobility is literally climbing the social ladder, moving from one point to another on the social ladder, from, you know, the average to the lower, no, from lower class to the middle, and then the high class, however you can classify that ladder. And then over time, we've seen that education let me not use the word plays, it is expected that it should play an important role in ensuring that people climb up this ladder. Considering different economic situations in the country, let's make this conversation more Nigerian specific, because we're Nigerians, we understand the educational structure in our country. Nigerians, we're people that have had at least some level of education or the other, and we'll probably even go for more. So let's start with higher education. Higher education, that's the higher institution, the universities, the colleges, the polytechnics. You know, let's see how these higher educations have they really done their best? Like, our higher educations now, what's the word? Did they guarantee better economic prospects for us? I mean, we see a lot of people that are chunked into the university. Every year, a lot of people that write JAMB, there's so much. In fact, the ones that are graduating are even more. Do you understand? There are some schools that don't even do, you know, convocation. They wait till after, like, they don't, after 4 years, unlike University of Lagos that I know of, they do it every year. Some schools just wait after 4 years, graduate many together, push a lot of people into the labor market. So it's almost like is this really what's going to work? This people that you're pushing into the labor market, is there a guarantee for, a better economic prospect for them? Are they going to climb up the ladder, or are they going to be having this round circle stuff? So what role do you think the higher education or higher institutions are playing in this?
We've always suffered classism in Nigeria. Yeah. I mean, right from when we were childhood, or when we were a child, rather, I listened to a teaching where the pastor said, oh, you never knew you were poor till your mother started to tell you that, look at that man's son, look at that man's daughter. They have more money than we do. That's when you start to realize that, okay, there's something called a rich people, there's like a richer class, and there's like an average class or the poor class. You were just innocently born into this world, going to school, you were happy, mixing with classmates, till your parents start to show you that, okay, look at this woman, and they are struggling, they can barely feed in a day. Look at that man, oh, they take them to school in a Range Rover, in a car. So then this classism thing started. Then when I started to go from, there's public school, there's private school, there's senior private school, right? Yeah. Classism again. So right now, the education space just feels like we're just doing the same thing. You will finish school, you will go for NYSC, and then you take your side class serious because your side class is the only promising thing, which is the training. A skill acquisition, something like that, which is the skill part. Oh, learn how to make beads, learn how to be a tailor, learn how to be a fashion designer, or learn how to make installation, all of that, which is now what you will not take serious. What you actually went to school to study for 4 years, for 5 years, with extra year or what have you, you're literally doing nothing with it, which goes back to our government. Why is it that our education sector, we have a large number of students going in every year, getting convocated every year, going into NYSC every year, yet there's little or no space for them in the corporate world. To get into a government job right now feels like hurdle. You have to pay this person, pay this person, pay this person, pay this person, pay this person. And when you get there, they will tell you, my chief can't work by slot. It's so sad. So most of us work with private sectors. And private sectors, not to talk down private sectors, but it's believed that they are users because they want one person that can do the job of 4 persons. They want one man to do the job of 3 persons. Yes, we understand economy as well. They also want to save on cost. They also want to save on monthly budget. Okay, financing and running a company is no joke. So they need that. Now, when one person is taking up the slot of 3 different people, the education sector is still left alone. Instead of me to I'm taking up the role of, let's say, a front-end developer, and I'm also taking up the role of analyst, I'm also taking up the role of JavaScript writer. This job description would have been split to 2 other people. 2 other people would have been taken away from the unemployment rate. I saw a video or a picture yesterday where they said unemployment. Okay, this morning, there's like a chart, unemployment rate was like about maybe 72% or so. Then people earning 35,000 naira to 50,000 naira. So right now in Nigeria, only 2.7% of people earn more than 200K. Well, maybe legally.
I agree.
So which means that...
Take that statistics again. I think he missed. He said only 20%.
Only 2.7% of people are earning above 200K in our today Nigeria.
I agree.
So the highest earners are 35 to 50K, which is what you pay normal people. Go to schools, degree. I have my degree. I've done my TRCN exam. I've done it. So I have a master's in view from 2 universities. I'm sorry, we cannot afford to pay you more than 50,000 naira. That's it. So the private sectors are now trying. They pay between 100K for your gross, and then after deductions, 82,700. Right? Or maybe they are paying like a 120,000, 128 to this deduction. So the education space right now needs fresh of breath.
So I think you're visiting this issue from an economic standpoint. You are looking at the government's influence into it. Let's look at the structure in the educational system itself. Not just government schools or what the role the government has to play.
Yeah.
These schools that we attend ourselves, I mean, they always tell us in secondary school, everybody looked forward to going into the higher institution.
Right.
Oh my God. If you did not pass your JAMB the first time, you almost feel like, what's in this world for me? Nobody was taking skills acquisition very seriously.
Yeah.
Everybody just wanted to be in university. And in fact, the courses available were what?
Medicine and surgery, law and legal studies.
High profile kind of courses. Because they felt
Nothing.
like this is how you're going to make it in the society.
Yeah.
So education is, I think till date, is something that we're still interested in. We're always excited about it. I mean, I meet a lot of young people, teenage people, and they're still interested in going to school.
The professional landscape has changed.
Wait now, it's when they now get into that school that they are now aware of the realities that are, going to face them. So let's just start with the educational system and the structure itself. Why does it look like it doesn't feel like there's been much progress? I'm going to start by explaining that.
Okay.
I think there's been just a lot of stagnancy when it comes to maintaining relevance. And I might not start from the tertiary institution. I'll start with the secondary school level.
Okay.
If you want to grow and you are still doing the same things that you are doing, you're still merry-go-rounding, what's going to happen? There won't be any form of growth.
Produce same results.
If you want to grow and you just want to just stay where you are, there won't be any form of growth. I remember on Monday when one day was saying something about our democracy, and she was saying that in schools, how did she even put it again? She said that the things that we learned in our books are actually not what's practicable. So there's this huge gap between our curriculum, what's being taught, and, what is actually real, what we can put on a global scale. So it feels like, before of course, the government, as we always say, will still be the ones that will hold the largest share of this blame, and because they are the government, they are on top, it's governance, right? But then the educational structures and system, what's being done to see improvements? Why does it look like there's been no form of improvement at all? Because I feel like if you even want to climb through this social mobility, let's just first start getting it right from where we have gotten it wrong, which is the system and structures. There are a lot of irrelevant. Would I say irrelevant? I would say irrelevant because you have to look at your society to know what's relevant.
Yeah.
It might not be irrelevant to some other nations and some other countries, but right here in our country, Nigeria, there's a lot of irrelevant courses and, systems that are operational. And it's not even making us progress. So why are we seeing this reoccurrence? So what do you have to say, Godspeedy?
To be honest, with the way the economic is right now, I mean, that's why that word came, school now scam, because literally that's what it is looking like.
But it's not supposed to be.
It is not supposed to be, but that is what the economics portraying us, right? And I thank God for technology. There are a lot of things that you can now actually even do without going to school, without going to the university, let me use your word, higher education, right? Because the truth is, we have, and when you're talking about skill, let me even start with that. When you're talking about skill, the world has advanced to a place where when you talk about skill, you're talking about graphic designs. You're talking about anything that has to build on tech. When you talk about skill previously, you're talking about catering.
Exactly.
You're talking about
that is the
going to go and do
I'm
buns,
talking of.
going to go and do puff puff. You understand? But right now, there's a whole lot of, shift. You're talking about coding. You're talking about programming. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the skill people are talking about now. Now, when we talk about the educational sector, I feel like there are a lot of things that we need to work on. Why is it that you're talking about the fact that, I mean, you go to university, they teach you whatever they want to teach you for 4 years, and you come out and you're looking for a job. And it looks like, okay, what is happening right now in the labor market is quite different from what you were taught. And that's because even the teachers themselves don't know what they are doing. I'm sorry. The lecturers themselves don't know what they are doing. The Minister of Education, some of them. No, it looks like it's all of them. I'm sorry. Let me give you an example. I was speaking to someone that went to a private university, right? And she was complaining about a whole lot of things. But this was my statement here. If what your school is doing right now for you guys as students, right, is something that government schools are doing. I'm talking about the likes of LASU, the likes of Unilag, and all the federal and state that is owned by the government, right? If they are taking the same measures that your school is taking to take care of you people, trust me, I don't think we'll have an issue with unemployment. I don't think we'll have an issue with, we just finished school, we did 6 years, we define work. Because even while they are staying, while they are in school, they are teaching their fellow mates. And this is no jokes. They're teaching their mates. The school gives you opportunity. Anybody that finish, if you pass A1, if you probably get a particular course and you have like first class and all of these things, you automatically you have this opportunity of teaching people. Do you get what I'm saying? You're not done with school, but you already have you already have like your CV out. Do you understand what that means? Do you know what that would help you with? And we keep complaining that when you come out from school, somebody will not tell you that you're looking for someone that have worked with 5 years experience.
Yeah. And it's still between the age of 25.
God bless you. at first when those things came out in my head, I'm like, these people have to be on serious. But not until I spoke to that person that came out from a private school, and I understood that you are still in school, but bro, it looks like you're working. It looks like you're done with working. Do you get what I'm saying? So there are a lot of things that
for that person, the school or
the school,
individual himself?
no, the school gives you the opportunity. Right, so you're done with first class. There's this program that takes care of internship. I wish this person is here. The person would have explained it better. There's this this program that has with internship that gives you the opportunity. You can decide to. They'll tell you that okay, there are people, so people that needs to, probably these people have put in that we have issues with social course, we have issues with social course, right? Then they look at you that are done with, that have passed that class. You have first class and all of those things. Then they'll call you to come and teach such person, and the school will pay you for it. They pay, I think, according to the person, they pay you 700 naira every for like the hours. Come on, now this is something that the government themselves, even if they know, this is something that they're supposed to be putting into the what's the name now, in the school curriculum, but it's not there.
God's beauty. We need to understand that different strokes for different folks. Private schools are not too much. In a class, you can find like 25. It's easy for you to secure the future of 25 people and secure the future of 100 and this thing. When I was in uni,
but you start from somewhere, yeah?
Well, listen, we're over 400. Okay, then in part 2, we had direct entry students join us. You can imagine how much we were before some people start to drop. In my uni, I think there is this thing that SUG president, they get a slot to lecture for like 2 years or so. So if you now go further your master's, you can now be a full-time lecturer.
In some federal schools, sorry to cut you short, first-class students or very distinction students sometimes get retainment.
So it happened in my school. Some exceptional students get retained.
No, it's not.
I don't think it's true connection, yes. Okay. Some exceptional students that, okay, lecturers know, okay, this person, okay, I can mention the likes of Hilary and our SUG president, I think maybe I was in year 1 or so. It was retained. It works in the economics department now, and it's doing really well. So I think it's easy to pick maybe 1 out of 100 because of the crowd, because of the population. But in private school, we have 20 people. They are paying ₦1 million every session. Even the parents want their future to be secured. Why am I sending my child to a school where they don't allow phones? Okay, they are paying over ₦1 million and their future is not secured. There's a private school in my area where after secondary school, they are moving them out of the country immediately.
Yeah.
Why? Because of the front. They are taking IGCSE exam. They are not taking WAEC that we take.
Yeah.
Right. They're not taking junior WAEC. They don't need all of these mock exams. They don't need NECO. The type of school you attend will determine the type of connection of what follows.
That is what I am saying.
You cannot go to Aurelia Agege Nursery and Primary School and be expecting Sheffield Allen University in your secondary school. Okay, that's university. You cannot go to really like a secondary school or AGSCs, all these public schools, and be expecting to go to Sheffield Allen University for your university level. It might not work. But if you should go to Chrisland in your secondary school, there's every possibility that even the school be working for you to go to Sheffield Allen University or study at John Hopkins. It will be very easy. So the professional landscape has now changed. There's no longer doctor. Government that doctor is relocating out of the country.
I mean,
right. Even that engineer is trying to let's build inverter. I built inverter. They're not making sales out of it. It's discouraging. The next flight you are seeing is they're already in Ghana because they're not even going to big countries anymore. As long as it's out of the country, they're trying to make ends meet. We now have TikTokers, and I'm a content creator, lifestyle influencer, and brand ambassador. Is that what we went to school to study? I studied English in my first degree where we used to analyze sentence. I mean, we used to climb, we call it tree diagramming.
I think you're still doing it now. At least.
We are no longer doing it. You cannot be saying something and I'll be saying, okay, we do tree diagramming. The boy is called a D article. Boy, now, out of the noun, we have subject, we have predicator. It's annoying. People fail these courses. But now, what are we doing with it? People that are even teaching, is it possible for me to teach a secondary student tree diagram in English? It doesn't work.
All right, we have to cut our conversation here and we'll continue. But when we come back, we want to look at this from another perspective, our own responsibility towards, making a step to climb up the social ladder. So stay with us, we'll be right back shortly. All right, welcome back, viewers, and thank you for staying with us. We're discussing the role of education in climbing up the social ladder and, going and getting better. So we started the conversation from the government, first of all, the role the government has to play, which is how this kind of conversation usually tilts towards. You first start with the government because everybody's always angry with the government. So you pour our anger on them firstly. But I always like a very holistic approach to these things. Then we have seen the school structure. We've seen that some structures they're not creating relevance. Like you mentioned, some of us are studying things in school, but coming out to do something else. So I mean, what are the prospects they told us these courses have in school? You know, there's somebody that said something one time. It said that when they give you an admission to study a course, and they now tell you that you can work anywhere.
I think for me, I've just known better, to be honest. So I never fell
Let me
into
tell you
one
my
of all of
admission
these things.
story. I think it was 2017 I wrote my first jam because you know everybody was so eager to get into school.
Yeah.
I needed to just be in school. I felt like this is how my life will have order. And then I didn't get into the course I wanted. It was something related to English, and so there was this religious study course that was available. I went to go and change my jam. I said, "Don't worry, I know that I will change from 200 level and all of that." Guess what? Thank God I didn't, because I'm not sure the kind of prospect that would have been available. But of course, you cannot now say that because the school curriculum is like this, the school system is like this, you will now hinder your own social mobility. Let us discuss this from the point of ourselves, our own individual responsibility. How can we ensure? Somebody always tells me this, and this is like the mantra I work with. It says, you cannot control everything, but the one within your control, how are you using it? I mean, we cannot, of course, we'll talk about the government, we'll lash them, we want them to get better, we'll talk about the school system. But before we eventually see this improvement, we as people, how can we get better? And I'll use myself as an example. The course I studied is probably not what I'm using directly, even though I'm very grateful for that course and I loved my first degree, course. But of course, the things I learned were not necessarily in the four walls of the classroom. But I made good, would I say connection or friendship with people that helped me build my professional landscape in that sense. So it means that there was intentionality on my part to want to better my own career.
Yeah.
I attended a lot of seminars, a lot of conferences, and that's one thing I'm going to appreciate my school for. I mean, University of Lagos. Just go around, you see different banners, different conferences, different people from outside coming to show and tell you things that probably your lecturers are not telling you. And it opens up your mind like, oh, really? There are opportunities outside. So I feel like for some Nigerian students, we've become so narrow-minded. We've become so stereotyped. While waiting for what the government will do for us, what the school will do for us, we should start thinking of how we can better ourselves. We've seen people get into entrepreneurship and they're doing great. Even this lifestyle content creation thing you're doing, it's already becoming a full-time job.
Yes,
It's a full-time
it is.
And
job
people
already.
are doing very well
It's a
with
full-time
it. So whether
job now.
you did whatever in your first degree, I mean, it's not Salem King that said this is his full-time job. And when he says it, people are wondering, how can this be your full-time job? He's probably earning more than some people that are going
Yeah.
to the offices and coming back by 5.
Sure.
So there's a lot of intentionality that needs to be put on our own part as individuals. If you have noticed that this professional landscape that this school has offered me, I don't see future here. I don't see progress here. I understand the pros and the cons. What can I do to still survive in the economic situation that my country is currently facing while hoping for the best?
Okay, let me share my story. And let me digress a little bit before sharing my story. I think there are some courses that should be removed from the university.
I truly agree.
Courses like tourism, hotel management, industry companion.
No, but
let me tell you-
wait,
Wait,
see, there are people
ladies,
that are
I
hotel
understand
managers
that
now.
they're hotel managers,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like it's a skill that can be learned. Okay,
So
you want to
what
work
I
in a
would say
radio
to that-
station.
what
You
I
really
would-
do not need to study mass communication. Do you know? You studied law. Where are
Baby,
you now?
baby, allow me to not tell my own story.
Okay,
but
wait, let me learn my story.
Okay, I wanted to say so. Don't worry, go on.
Okay, so I feel like courses like tourism, courses like adult education, early childhood, courses like this should be removed.
No, I would disagree.
This
with
is what
adult
I wanted
education
to
and
say.
the early
So
childhood.
instead of them to remove the course fee like out, right, scrap it out. What I think they should do is to literally reduce the, instead of staying for 4 years, just literally teach us in 2 years.
8 months or something.
Do you understand?
12
Because
months.
that
Or
4 years,
maybe
I feel like it's a waste of
refurbish-
time, actually.
Or maybe refurbish the
I don't
teaching
understand.
process. Maybe something else
hotel
can be
management
done.
now, hotel
All the
management.
individuals who are studying it themselves should create relevance for that course. For
Oh,
themselves
speaking
when they
of
come
how-
out.
How do you want to create relevance after you study hotel management? Which relevance are you talking about?
You will start from somewhere.
work
Auntie,
at a fine
it should be
dining
2 years
restaurant.
or 1 year. Oh,
Okay.
Which one is 4 years for hotel?
So is it the
What
2
are-
years or 1 year that will guarantee that you then have
Literally,
prospect outside?
the truth is there are jobs out there, right? The hotel managers and all of that. You can work in a hotel, you can manage the whatever, right? So instead of, since that's what I want to study in school, and I know for sure that there's a job like that, come on, I don't know why it is a 4 years whatever, because whatever you're supposed to teach me in that 4 years, just carry it out to probably a year or 2 years, and I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Because it is even a hotel management. I mean, again, it's where there's addition that be.
Now,
all
speaking
I
as
don't
a-
understand.
Now, speaking to we ourselves grooming ourselves, I went to a uni that I never liked. I don't know if I still like the school now, but I went to a uni that I never
I
liked.
hope your
And
vice chancellor is in this.
and in the first year in the school, I realized that if I should follow, I studied English and education for my first degree. I realized that my future is either be a private school teacher, a secondary school teacher, maybe after my master's and maybe publications and thesis, then I can apply for a lecturing job. Right. The moment I realized that, and I do not want to be a teacher. I love to teach, but I do not like to take a full-time teaching job. I started to make, okay, what about I work as an intern? I started internship at my part 2 in university. I started to build myself. I worked at a school radio station. I went ahead to work at a proper radio station. Why? For connection. So that, okay, let's say I intern for all the 4 years in uni. After uni, there's a place for me already, which was what I did. Some people do not do that. They focused on English and education, it's year 401, ENG 201, and that was what they did. Right now, they're either struggling to either learn a skill, do virtual assistant, be HR professional,
Lecturer.
or maybe teachers. Because I know of people that they are teachers, they're school teachers. They still send questions to our departmental group chat of many years ago.
Yeah.
And ladies, and what's this thing? Is this thing right? They still do that. So individually, I feel like you would have made an effort, like you said. I made an effort that I do not want to be a teacher. I want to be, instead of, I want to make media profession out of my English profession. Which made me go to the school radio station as a first step. When I said, okay, the school radio station wasn't what I wanted, let me go to a proper radio station where they transmit out, across board. And they are heard out across everywhere. I interned there. I observed for a while before I started to go on air. Right. Before I finished my 4th year, I was already granted a job. So I got a job immediately after school. I was already working before I graduated.
Yeah.
Which means I was able
intentional.
personally to make good use of myself. I would have depended on my dad. Okay, yes, my dad is well connected, right? Just his surname can open doors for me, like where I went to school.
Yeah.
Just his surname alone can open a lot of doors for
Doors
me.
for you.
But I knew because of the course I studied, it might not work out. So we as that individual, you said you went to a lot of these things. You studied a course, but right from there, you knew that, like I saw online these days, what class did you know you cannot make first class? The person said first class.
Oh my God, that's
So what you knew
That's
that this
hilarious.
course is not promising. You're studying adult education. Okay, let me not talk down on the course. Let's say you're studying economics. You're studying statistics. What do you want to do with statistics? Do you want to work at National Population Agency? Do you want to work with Census Board? Do you want to work? Where do you want to work? Is it promising? Is it easy for you to enter that space? Have you seen any vacancy before of population census?
Yeah.
Or it does not happen. These people are just selected. Oh, Mr. Kini Kolele, let's put this person there. So you yourself now have to be intentional. Okay, yes, I know I'm studying medicine and surgery, but I don't want to end up being a normal home doctor, boring doctor, do 12-hour shifts. What else can I do on the side? Let me come to social media. Let me be teaching all of these things online. Let me be doing consultation online. So yes, you're still doing that your boring doctor job, but you don't have something else that's not paying your bills and making you feel appreciated. So it's not left for us. They are online lawyers. Like,
Yeah.
and just ask them questions. Look at Timi Agbaje, right? It teaches law. It tells us the reason why you should not cross overhead bridge.
Yeah.
Under the law, this. Oh, I learned it. He's still a lawyer. He's not a full-time lawyer. He's not going to court, but he's still practicing his law.
Yeah.
This thing. Look at Funke Akindele is a lawyer, but what does she do with the law profession? Nothing.
Many of
Look
them.
at someone else on this table. She's a lawyer. What is he doing with the law profession? Nothing.
God,
So you have to make out of that your lemon. Because life did not actually give us lemon.
Yeah.
Yes, we crossbreed it. God did not. Yes.
This is
I tell
another
the truth.
quote.
I did
Life
tell
did
you.
not
this
give
one.
us lemon. It was formed. We're the one that crossbreed one unripe orange and with a ripe one and it turned to lemon. So life did not give us lemon. But let's say your course by chance gave you a course that you did not like. Try to make a lemonade from that your lemon.
Lemonade. Hallelujah.
You know what I'm going to say?
Okay.
You want to say something?
So what I would say to, I mean, she already said it all, to be honest. I think intentionality is the key, right? So when I feel like I already knew from initials that, okay, these people that study this certain kind of courses, they just go there to waste their 4 years or
I would
5
have
years.
taken
whatever.
law as my second degree.
See,
I loved law so much.
Hey,
Till I
yeah.
saw a lawyer posting for your house to stay on state. I said, this future is not promising.
Why? Because of the country. A friend of mine will say, you're going to
That's a
practice
very
law.
absolute statement. When you say the future is not promising, because there are still lawyers that are making waves in
Yeah.
the society.
Mention-
Me,
yeah.
I know. In
Yeah.
fact, in my personal circle, I know lawyers that are doing great.
Gen Z lawyers. I'm not talking about
But
the likes
the
of Falano. I'm talking
Yes,
about
in fact,
current day.
very young lawyers
Very
are doing
young.
great.
Interesting.
So it starts with knowing what exactly you want to do in that
After
your professional
carrying
landscape
bag
from
for
the
a
beginning.
year at the law, at the, what do they call it, chamber, the legal
yeah.
chamber, after doing research for all their legal framework, do you think it's easy to just wake up one day and be, before you can even represent at the court, you have to first go and be doing charge and bail at the police station. When they bring high profile cases to you, be the one to do all the research.
This is an insult.
I think it's because of
I'm so
the kind of
sorry.
stories that you've heard. I was going to say something, sorry to cut you short, but when we talk about education, a lot of people are just so restricted in their mindset, and they think education is just going to school, attending lectures, doing your assignment, project, and graduating. But they've forgotten that, education also offers social development for people. And many times in that school system that you've been placed in, even though your course of study might not be eventually what would help you climb up the social ladder, because that's what we're talking about. The network that you build would eventually help you. I've never used the word have a problem, but actually that's what it says. I have a problem with people who don't take advantage of the
Agreed.
resources that we have in the school system. Especially federal schools. I don't know about private schools, but federal school is like a nation on its own. It's a nation where everything and anything is possible. Where there are different people with different ideologies, different people with dreams and aspirations. Of course, the good and the bad. Do you understand? So why is it that some people still feel? Because there was a particular. I don't want to mention this person very. I want to be a bit anonymous in my explanation. But one day, me and my friend were evaluating this person, and we said, "What kind of social network has this individual built?" She was the academia. The real academia, goes to her class, comes back, library, class, library, hostel. I'm like, this is great, and you're going to have your first class. But what social network are you building? Because eventually, this is what will still help you when you leave this school and you're going into the labor market. But some people have not really tapped into that. Sometimes the social network that you build is not even for your career path or the professional landscape, but for some other things that you eventually venture into. In the school environment is where you find people who become co-founders. Where people say, okay, you do this, I do this, let's do this together. It might not even be a course that we're studying.
Sure.
Do you understand? But some people have not leveraged on that and taken advantage. If I had to sit and mope and think of what's wrong, this lecturer, that lecturer. See, it's going to be the same cry.
I think it now goes back to your background. If you're from a home where your first class is your first class, you must make that first class. I don't think they care about extracurricular activities.
But who said you can't make first class and still have good extracurricular life?
That's the thing. A lot of people are not exposed to those things.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying? The fact that you know this doesn't mean other people know
That's
this
why
as
we're
well.
saying this.
So they
I
might be
mean-
coming from a home where I want you to pass. I want you to A all your papers. I want you to ace all your papers. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think that's speaking to what Shola said. Now, another thing I would want to say is I feel like, just like she said, there are a lot of courses that are very relevant. So it's either I'm not sure. I'm not saying they should take it out, but I'm just saying they should probably reduce, the time. Yeah, because I don't understand why I'm using 4 years for a nonsense. Sorry. A course that, to me, doesn't make any sense. Just reduce the years so that people that want to work people that want to, go into something like that can go there, also acquire other skills apart from they learning that particular thing. Because, like I said, I knew this earlier, to be honest. Like, right from when I was pretty small, apart from the fact that my dad already told us, because of how we are very outspoken at home, we already knew, like, what course we were going for. I already knew right from when I was in secondary school that I was going for law. Do you get what I'm saying? So I already knew that from initials, right? Now, when I left secondary school and I started working, where I was working, these people I was working with, they're all graduates. one studied mathematics, one studied whether English or so. Now these people are coming, you're working in the same place I'm working, we're earning almost the same money. So it was more like you, for me, during that time I was not like, that means you wasted 4 years to go and do rubbish. That's how I was seeing it when I was like pretty small. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you cannot be working in the same place I'm working. Me, that then I've not even entered, I've not entered uni. In my head, I'm like, look at you, graduate, you're speaking well, I'm speaking well, and you are just earning probably maybe the difference between our salaries might just be maybe 5,000 naira or maybe 10,000 naira. But so that was like an open eye for me. So even when I wanted to go into uni, I was sure that it's law I'm going for. I'm not going for any course that I'm not, sure that at the end of the day, the certificates won't speak for me. And that's why even where I am today is something that I still tell, this is sorry to people that studied mass comm. In my head, I'm like, okay, what I would have literally done, instead of me to go and spend 4 years in uni to go and study mass comm, right? Most of my friends, I have mass comm friends, right? So I have them around me. What I do is to take that. I look at the questions they ask them, like their exam questions and all of that. I read their textbook. So the same thing that they taught you in school, you come and explain to me. That's how it works for me, though.
I think we need to learn more of skill sets and not the theoretical.
Relevant
We need
skill
more
set.
of relevant skill set. Thank you. Emphasis on relevant.
Relevant.
We need relevant skill sets. Mass communication is theoretical. Yes, there is sideways. So tell you to go to a radio station or a TV station to learn and see all of that. But I think they do not teach more practical than theory. That's why we had polytechnics. It is believed that polytechnics teach more of practical and then technical schools. They teach more of the practical thing. You will see how a chair was being carved out and built from scratch. But in uni, they will just be drawn on the board or
And
maybe
do you know the
use
interesting
slime
part?
to
I hear
project
that
it.
there's the certificate from this thing. What do they call this?
It's
for
not
them now?
up to BSc.
Exactly. So they don't even really rate like people that even go to.
Yeah, they don't rate them.
Ha.
But then I think you as an individual, if you know you want a promising future, apart from going to study nursing and then being in the psychiatric ward, you also need to do something better.
We'll just work with the trends,
What's your
actually.
last thought as we begin to wrap up the show?
For me, work with the trends, because the truth is, there will be a time where it will be technology-based for a whole lot of things. So you going to study a particular course, you should ensure that this particular course can take you to the future. Do you get what I'm saying? Better still, go and learn a skill, because, I mean, I've said that times without number. We are going, the world is becoming more advanced. We're going into the technological kind of thing. So it's just important that you move with the trend, instead of you having to go and still study a course that is not relevant in this time and age. Come on.
Well, for me, I'm just going to say that while we wait for our educational system to compete on a global stage, I mean, the reason why we see lots of people in that sense, do their masters is because they think the educational system there is good, it's profitable, it's better. And we know one day, hopefully, our country will our educational system will get to that where they can compete.
Amen.
Where some of these courses that we're doing that we call irrelevance. You know, when you were mentioning some of these courses and you are mentioning irrelevance, it's not needed.
They are relevant. Exactly, they are there. But you're looking at the economic system of Nigeria.
Exactly.
Because I know of a friend that studied robotics, and I was like, oh, robotics? Yeah, in the UK though.
Oh, okay.
And they are making waves. So while we wait for that, you have to control that within your purview.
And let me just add this, unrelated, but dear young professionals, please take good care of your health. Yes, you're working. You wake up 6 in the morning. You go to bed 12 at night just to make end meet. But ensure that you feed well. Ensure that small headache you watch it. Take good care of your health.
All right, this is a twist in our conversation. Maybe you've heard stories about that, but that's all we can take for our show this morning. Join us again tomorrow, Friday. Friday is Tech Friday. Friday is Tech Friday. You can feel the excitement already. So join us tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Have a great day. Bye.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Osayome Sale from Ways Prime Time. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?